just gonna get into it because I have a feeling that this video is going to be very long. So I'm basically gonna show you guys my makeup collection. I have a lot of makeup. There's makeup in here, there's makeup in these drawers below that I'm going to show you. There's also makeup right over here. I don't know if you can see, like, yeah, right in this area that I'm going to show you as well. So let's just get right into it. So and this is just basically where I put like my wigs. So like I have a lot of wigs that I wear and I'll put them on a head and then just put that right on this stand thing. It moves if I need it to. So in case you were wondering, that's what that is. And then my mirror is right over here. I actually keep all of my wigs on top of this, but for the sake of this video, I moved them off. So they're actually right on my bed. So, but yeah, anyway, let's just get into it. So this box, or this stack of drawers, I actually keep it in my bathroom. But I just decided to bring it out for the sake of this video. So in this first drawer right here, I have all of my makeup palettes. So these four right here are my Melt Cosmetics stacks. If you're not familiar, if you're not familiar with Melt Cosmetics, you definitely should be. They make some of the best and most pigmented eyeshadows I've ever used. So this is the first Melt Cosmetics stack that I ever bought, and it's all magnetic. So this is the one in or the name of it is the Dark Matter stack, and it is so beautiful. It has all the names. I'm trying not to break it. It has all the names right there on the back, and then it also comes with this compact mirror. I really like using this whenever I want to do a smoky eye. I should use this for a video soon because I haven't used this palette in a while. And this is the shade right here, Dark Matter. It is the darkest, most like pigmented black shade I have ever used. So I really, really love this stack. And then they just all come together just like that. Up next is, I'm not going to show you it because I'm actually really sad. I actually got to buy this again. But this is the Gunmetal stack, and it's really pretty. It's very like cool toned and silvers, and I'll post a photo of it somewhere on this video to show you what it looks like. But I only have two in here because my other two broke, so I definitely have to repurchase that again. But I don't want to show you guys right now. And then this is my Melt stack. It's the She's in Parties makeup stack, and it's this really pretty like mauve and sultry looking makeup stack. I love this. I usually bring this out during this time of year. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with my light? There, is that better? I think that's better. So I usually bring this out during this time of year as like the holiday season ramps up and I want to do like a nice pretty sultry eye. I'll use this. So I love it so much. It's so beautiful. I just love how magnetic everything is. I haven't taken any of them out of their box. I always leave them in because like I said, this one has broken, so I gotta be safe with it. And then this is the most recent Melt Cosmetics stack that I have. This is the Baby Girl stack. It's just like these really pretty reds and pinks, very, very vibrant. And so I love how that looks as well. This is like my go-to like in the summer, but you know, they can be used all year long. I don't know, I guess I just have themes for when I want to look summery. I'll use this stack. If I want to look nice for the holidays, I'll use the She's in Party stack. So up next I have my Morphe makeup. So this is it's broken, but this is the Morphe 350 palette. I was like the last person on earth to buy this palette. Whenever everyone else had it, I just wasn't interested. And then when I went to see if it was available, because I finally wanted to get it, it was always sold out. So I finally got my hands on this. This is like one of their best palettes that they've ever come up with. It is perfect for this time of year. It's so pretty. You could do all kinds of looks with it. So this was the first, or no, this was like the second Morphe palette, or maybe the third that I bought. But yeah, I love it. It's really good. So this is the next Morphe palette I have. This is the 35T palette. It's perfect for like those taupe mauve looks that you want to use. I don't use this often. I want to look at more videos to kind of get more inspiration because I don't know, there's like not a whole lot you can work with. There are some really pretty shades, but I just want to see, you know, what other people have come up with. But it is a really, really nice palette to have because I have done some really nice looks with the colors. Moving on to the third Morphe palette. This was the first palette from Morphe that I ever bought. This is their 35P palette. I love it because it has all these pretty purples. Purple is my favorite color. Whenever I want to do a nice pretty purple smoked out look, I will definitely go to this palette. And then I also love like the browns. I feel like brown and purple can complement each other very well. If you want to you know, do like brown with a pop of purple, or like a purple lid with like a smoked out brown, they look really, really good. So I love this palette. I don't use it as often because I don't know, I gravitate more towards like the warm tones, and purple is a very cool toned color. But when I am in the mood for purple, I definitely go to this palette. Okay, so moving on to my next drawer. This is basically where I keep like my spare makeup. Everything else is a lot more organized, but if there's like an overflow in the areas that I already have stuff, I'll just throw it all in here. So this is where, as you can see, I have my beauty sponges. I need to clean a few of these. This is the Morphe Beauty sponge. This is the Morphe Beauty sponge that I have. This is the only Morphe Beauty sponge I own, but I really, really like it, especially this point right here. It's for, you know, getting my concealer in those tough to reach places. And then this is my, oh my gosh, Real Techniques beauty sponge. And as you can see, it's dirty. And I actually have another one. I have a few of my Real Techniques beauty sponges. I really, really like these. They're perfect dupes for the Beauty Blender, which I also have. I have two black and one pink. My favorite is the black. I will say, like, a lot of people don't say that there's a difference, but I believe there is. And the only ones that I have tried are the pink and the black ones. But in my opinion, the black is my absolute favorite. So moving on, I have a bunch of different concealers. This is my Makeup Revolution concealer. I haven't used this yet. A lot of people say it's a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. But then I also hear a lot of people say bad things about it. So I have yet to try it on myself and form my own opinion. And then I have my Maybelline. No, we're not showing that. I don't even use that anymore. Or this one. And then this is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Amande. I love this, especially because it matches my skin tone. So I use this one to spot conceal. It's a really, really great high-end concealer. NARS isn't really like talked about much, but they've got some really great products. They're very women of color friendly, I find. So I go to them quite a bit. And then this is my NARS bronzer in the shade Casino. You've seen me use it quite a bit. I've actually ditched it in favor of Fenty Beauty, but this was the first concealer that I ever bought, and I absolutely love it. As you can tell, I already hit pan on it. And then over here is my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Concealer. This is in the shade Toffee, or concealer, powder foundation, excuse me. And yeah, I don't use this as often, but when I do, I really do like the finish that it gives me. And then this is my Makeup Forever powder foundation in the shade 177. I love this. This was the first powder foundation I bought, and then I discovered my Bare Minerals Bare Pro. But if you are looking for a new powder foundation to use, I highly recommend the Makeup Forever one. They're really, really good, and they don't feel like cakey on the skin or too powdery. They go on very, very smooth. And then I just have like stray lashes. These are the Makeup Shack lashes in the shade Eye Candy. I don't know if any of you guys know who Salt is. That's her name on Instagram, but she's the first girl that like introduced these lashes to me, and I really like how they look on my eyes. I haven't worn them in a video yet because I'm so obsessed with Lily lashes at the moment, but they're great. They're not that expensive. I don't believe I paid like more than, I don't know, $10 for these. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've been on the Makeup Shack website, but I don't believe they're too pricey. And then I just have, you know, sample sizes. These are the Lights Camera Lashes from Tarte Cosmetics. I haven't used this. And then I have my Sephora blush. This is in the shade Flirt It Up. I really like this blush. A lot of blushes are really expensive, but the Sephora brand has always been really affordable, and I just love like the rosy pink hue that it gives my cheeks. Okay, so the last and final drawer is full of stray lipsticks and lip glosses. So most of my lipsticks are from Maybelline. I have these various shades. Like I have this shade right here called Midnight Blue. Pretty self-explanatory. It's such a very dark blue look. And then I also have, what is this? Oh, this is really pretty brown. It's called Toasted Truffle. So my favorite, as you can tell, drugstore lipstick brand is Maybelline. This is in the shade Serpentine. Turpentine. It's this really pretty, just pow green shade. And then when it comes to lip glosses, I'm pretty much all over the place. I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills glosses. I also love the Fenty Beauty lip glosses, and there's one other, I can't think of it, but yeah, I'm a big lip gloss, lipstick kind of girl. So this is basically where I just keep all the ones that can't fit in my other compartments. They're all stored right in here, as well as sharpeners for my eyeliner. Now we're gonna move on to the next set of makeup. There's more. There's a lot more. Okay, so now we're moving on to what is in these makeup drawers. So the first drawer contains mostly my highlighter, concealer, and bronzer and blush. It's just like basically most of the face. So right here I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. This is in the style Gleam, and mostly I use these two shades right here, this one Hard Candy and this one Mimosa. I find that Crushed Pearl is a little too bright for me, so if I were to use that, I would definitely want to mix it with another highlighter shade. And then underneath that I have my collection of Lily lashes. These are both in the style So Extra Miami. Lily lashes have gone on to become my favorite high-end lash brand. I think their lashes are so beautiful, and I use Miami the most. I need to definitely branch out and try some other styles, but the Miami collection is just my absolute favorite. Whether it's Miami, whether it's So Extra Miami, I want to try Miami Flare. I know they came out with that recently, so yeah, Lily lashes are definitely my faves. And then this is one of my Anastasia highlighters in the shade Peach Nectar, which I think I have two of these because I know I really liked it. It's their illuminator, actually. They don't use the term highlighter, but this is Peach Nectar and I love it. I love how warm it looks on my skin. And then I have a pair of Cocoa lashes right here. These are in the style Queen Bee. And then here is my e.l.f. contour palette. I'm trying to cover the mirror for you guys, but this is basically what it looks like. It's a powder contour, and I'm more of a cream contour kind of person, so I don't use this too often, but it is nice to have around. Right here are my Fenty Beauty matchsticks. I have them, I bought the trio initially, and then whenever I want to get more of the truffle shade, I'll just buy extras. So this is how they look. They're all magnetic, and I love them. I keep them all together. You can take this off and it will not dry out. Like, I've never personally like left them without the cap on, but I've heard plenty of people say that they've lost their cap and these have not dried out. So they're really nice. And then over here I have my collection of brushes. This is my e.l.f. So Rosy blush, and then right here is my Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. I'm in the shade Hazelnut. These is my absolute favorite. I didn't even, one of them like hit pan, so I'm still not like completely done with it, but it didn't stop me from buying a second one just because I love them so much. And then here are my Tarte highlighters. My first is in the shade Topaz, which is really nice if I want to have like a muted looking highlighter and not something as bright. And then I have my Champagne Pop highlighter. This one actually broke the first time I bought it, so I went and got another one. I love this. It's so nice. And then down here I have all of my collections of highlighters, Fenty Beauty, NARS, Tarte, and Too Faced. So yeah, as you can see, I really love, like, more than anything, highlighting, which is why these are so much lighter than my skin, more than spot concealing. But oh my gosh, but spot concealing is really well, especially if you have like a zit that you want to cover. So these are some of my favorites. I think out of all of these, my favorite concealers would probably have to be Fenty Beauty and the NARS concealer, just because they give me like a really nice dewy look. When it comes to Tarte Shape Tape, you have to be really fast. Like, don't get me wrong, these are really nice, but you have to be so quick in applying them because they dry down so easily. Then right here, I have my Fenty Killawatt highlighter. This is in the shade Moscow Mule and Ginger Binge, and these are really pigmented, so you got to be careful when you apply these. And then my favorite bronzer, sorry NARS, this is my Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Cocoa Naughty. Okay, moving on. So my second drawer basically contains eyelashes, a few spare highlighters, and then right in here I have my two Fenty Beauty powders. This is in the shade Hazelnut and this is in the shade Banana. So I use this when I want a powder that's more close to my skin tone, and then I use Banana when I want a powder to highlight my skin. These are mostly Lily lashes, a few Ardell Double Up 206 lashes. I have my Amrezy Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. This is one of the best highlighters. When I saw that Amrezy was collabing with Anastasia Beverly Hills again, I knew I had to get it. This is like so blinding. If you didn't get your hands on it, I highly recommend that you get the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter because it's just as blinding as this one. More Queen Bee lashes, and then down right here is my Marc Jacobs fine liner that I have yet to use. I bought this when I was in Boston earlier this year and I love it. And this is one of my Too Faced palettes, or the only Too Faced palette I have. This is my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I had to like pull some strings to get this because at the time it was limited edition, so I had to like ask a friend, like, will you please get this for me and hold on to it because I know that it's gonna sell out by the time I get off work, and she did, so thanks, shout out to you. And so it's still, like, to this day, I've had it for like 2 years now, it still smells like peaches. It is so nice. So then down here I have a few of my Anastasia Beverly Hills makeup palettes. So this is the Mario Master palette. I haven't used this in a while. I should really do a look with this. This is such a pretty palette. Moving on to this is my Anastasia. This is the newest palette that I purchased. This is their Soft Glam palette. It's really nice for those simple everyday looks, but you can use the darker shades over here to smoke it out if you wanted to. And then this is the first Anastasia Beverly Hills palette that I bought, their Modern Renaissance palette. A lot of people had like okay reviews to give this, but I personally love this palette, especially this shade right here, Burnt Orange. I feel like it looks good on anyone and everyone can pull it off. So if you don't have your hands on this Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, like out of all of them, I highly recommend you start with this one. So the third drawer I'm not really gonna get into. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is where I keep most, if not all, of my lipsticks and lip glosses. So I keep them in these drawers, and a few of them are kind of standing up. So most of them, as you can see. And then I have a few of my Fenty glosses as well. And oh, I showed you guys this in my Boston haul, but this is my Glossier Mango Balm. So most of what you see here is Anastasia Beverly Hills, Kat Von D, Maybelline, Fenty Beauty, and oh, this is just like my EOS lip balm. But yeah, I know they have another palette coming out that's based around like the holidays, and it kind of has like a Day of the Dead type of feel to it, so I cannot wait for that to come out. But this is a really, really good makeup palette by Melt Cosmetics. My camera stopped filming, so just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to show you guys again. This is my first, the first palette in my drawer. This is my Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. I love this palette. This has become my go-to everyday makeup palette. I just love how there's so many options for like shimmers and pressed pigments and matte shades. You can just really do a whole lot with this palette. So this is the newest palette that I bought recently, the James Charles palette. I have to admit that in person this palette is like 10 times prettier than online. I'm pretty sure I'm the last person to ever buy this palette. I initially wanted to buy the new palette that he came out with that is basically a mini of this version, but when I saw the mini and compared it to, you know, the original, I was like, I'd rather have the original, because the mini, it was just, I don't know, it was too small for me. I guess I figured that it would be the same size as a regular Morphe palette, so I would much rather have, you know, have the palette as the way he initially intended. So I bought it and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to play around with it. This is definitely a palette that encourages you to step out of the box and play with color. Like, it encourages colorful looks. So I cannot wait. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yellow. Yeah, it'll be fun. So this next palette I have is the first big Morphe palette that I ever bought. This is their Dare to Create palette. It came out, during the, can you see them all? Here we go. It came out during the holiday season and was limited edition, but now I think it's free for anyone to purchase. My black, it didn't hit pan, it just fell out, but that's okay. I have plenty of other black shades, so I use this, you know, interestingly enough, mostly during the holiday season, because I mean, it's a holiday palette. You could use it any time of the year, but I only think to use it during this time of year. Up next, I have my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This was Such a beautiful palette. I remember when it launched, I was so excited to buy it. Say what you want about Jaclyn Hill, this is an amazing palette. Like, that's all I'm gonna say on that. I love this shade right here. I do like, it's one of my like everyday go-to pretty mauve rose gold looks. I always use that shade on my lid. I love how it looks. So up next I have my Morphe 35M palette. I saw this and knew I had to get it. There's another one that I saw, but when I saw it in person, I was like, it doesn't compare to this one. I just love all these greens and oranges, and even like their shades down here kind of have like a bluish tint to them. So it's kind of like, you could do like a smoky look, but it would be, it would be like really sultry and pretty. So yeah, I love this palette. This is my Morphe 35R palette. I use this when I want to, you know, keep it really warm toned and bronzy. As you can see, I've already hit pan on one of the shades. But I just love their selection of shimmer shades. I feel like you could just really, oh, come on, stop being blurry. You just really do like a whole lot with this palette. So I love it. And I use it on my mom plenty of times when she wants me to do her makeup. I always go for this palette because I think it just looks the best on her skin. So this is my Juvia's Place palette. This is the Masquerade by Juvia's Place. Whenever I want to play with color, I definitely go to this palette. I had a friend use this palette for a Halloween look she did, I believe last year. Was it last year? Or maybe it was like the year before last. And she rocked it. I always, whenever I want to do like a simple one shade look, I'll use this shade down here called Zulu. It's this really pretty brick orangey red shade. I absolutely love it. And I need to buy more from Juvia's Place. They've got some really, really pretty palettes that they've come out with recently. And my final palette down here, this is the Magic by Juvia's Place. I actually saw this. Holly Boone, who's like one of my favorite UK YouTubers, she did a look with this palette and I fell in love with it. I love how big the pans are and they're really, really pigmented. So if you haven't heard of Juvia's Place, I highly recommend you check them out. Her palettes are so affordable and they're so nice, you guys. Like, they're really, really nice. I can't say enough good things about them. Okay, so this is the final area where all of my makeup is. This is basically where all of my liquid foundations, liquid lipsticks, eyeliners, and brushes are. So I'm gonna start back here. Most of what you see here are all my Morphe brushes. I'm a huge Morphe fan. I haven't really tried any other brand of makeup brushes because they are just my go-to. I definitely want to look at the Zoeva brushes though, because I've heard some really great things. And then as you move forward, I have my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. I actually got a pack of these from Costco. That's why I have like 4 back there, because I bought the entire pack. And then over here is my collection of Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. I have so many colors. I actually used this shade right here. It's called Crocodile Tears when I dressed up as Rihanna for why is it zoomed out? When I dressed up as Rihanna for Halloween last year. So that was really fun. And then I also have some Cover FX drops. I haven't used these in a while. And then I have some eyeliner and some NYX glitter glue back here. More foundation. This is my Hourglass stick foundation. And all of my NYX liquid liners are back here as well when I want to do a winged look. And then over here I have, this is where my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade sits, along with various eyeliners. So this one is by Bobbi Brown, and then this one's by Maybelline. This one is by Bobbi Brown. So whenever I want to do a liner that's not using a liquid liner, it's just like a regular gel liner, I'll use those right over there. And then I have various perfume back here and some old Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipsticks that I haven't used in like a year, as well as lash glue. It's basically just like a collection of makeup right there. It's not super organized. Most of this area is as organized as it possibly can be because I have so much. And then right in front I have my various glitters for when I want to do a glitter eye look. This is my NYX glitter. And then I have my foundation. So this is my new Born This Way foundation in the shade Chestnut. Then I have my Maybelline Superstay foundation right here. My primers, my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is my other Milk foundation in the shade Maple. I also have a few perfumes, my Fenty Beauty foundations back here, as well as my primer, my, my NARS foundations right here. And then I have, this is my favorite. This is like my go-to scent. This is the Victoria's Secret Heavenly Spray. I love this. It smells so good. I wear it all the time. I have my setting spray right here. my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, as well as, I feel like I'm missing one, my Urban Decay's right here. And yeah, it's just all collected over here. It's basically like perfumes and foundation that I keep sitting upright because I don't want my liquid foundation to like spill out in any of my drawers. Same with my perfume, I don't want that to get everywhere, so I keep it all right up here. And even though I have a lot of makeup, I know where everything is. So if someone were to take something, or if my mom were to grab something that she wanted to borrow, I would notice. Everything is in its right place. And a lot of like these makeup stands, we got them at like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, like those kinds of stores. That's where you can find them. And yeah, so that's basically it. That is my extensive makeup collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got to see, you know, the extensive amount of makeup that I own, and I'm just gonna keep on buying because I love it so much. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.